Hey, Machinery Pete here, folks, at the Natural Farm Machinery Show, hanging out with my good friends at Protexia. And I tell you what, their products are just amazing. And the story on it is incredible. Now here, let's talk about your Agrirepel product, guys. Elizabeth, do you want to start us off here and tell us what this amazing wrap does?
Sure. My amazing husband and his father actually created this. It's a bird, rodent, and raccoon repellent wrap. We also put it in the bags. But it repels them for 2 years out in your field. It's non-toxic. It doesn't kill the pest. It just sends them to your neighbor's house. And so we have Cody Coleman here from Circle C Farms, and we're lucky enough to work with the most awesome people ever, but he's used it for a couple of seasons now.
Oh, absolutely. And we just started doing, now we're getting into wet hay. We've always been conventional dry hay, so we were new to the whole market. And having a baler as expensive as a Miguel baler wrapper, you know, we wanted to be able to do the best job we could. We used the wrap that they gave us, had issues just from the get-go, trying to figure out the tightness, and didn't think it was sticky enough. And then just after you get all your hard work done, it's time to like feed it to the cows. And we go to bite into some of these and they're ruined. They got holes all in them. We're investigating the problem, and all of a sudden we realized we got a mice infestation, put it like. And we're like, okay, so how do we get rid of these mice? You know, we thought about the poison around the piles. We got all this stuff. And we're like, oh, none of this is going to work. And once we got through with all of the pile, we're like, half of our crop's gone. You know, so here we are, invested all this money into this, and we're like, we really didn't know what to do. And coming here at the farm show, I remember seeing the Protexia booth and seeing something about a rodent repellent.
Yep.
And I first took a look at it, and I was thinking, well, is it harmful for the cows? Because if it's anything I know to get rid of something like that, you know, it's gonna have like chemicals or something. I learned it was infused wrap and that it was all safe. And I said, hey, well, let's give it a shot, because we didn't have nowhere else to go with it. And sure enough, it come in on the truck that day. We were still using our old wrap at that time, and swapped it on the baler right then. Got it all stacked in its piles right beside the old wrap, and come time to put it out, old wrap, same thing. Half the bales are no good, mice everywhere. I'm talking 40, 50. Every time you move a bale, they're migrating to the ones you got left, and it's just on and on, repetitive process.
You actually had a shotgun, I hear?
Yeah, yep. We had a shotgun. We'd have one on the tractor, one on the shotgun, ready to sit there. As soon as you pick it up, you fire all 3 rounds at it. And I mean, the amount. And we thought, well, maybe we're at least thinning them out, but no matter what, you pick up that next one, there's more.
Right.
And so it finally come time, I was like, well, this is going to put this to the test. I was determined that, hey, we're going to find at least a hole. There ain't no way with all these mice right here beside it, within not even 10, 20 yards from it, that it's bound to have some type of holes in it. Well, we picked it up, went, inspected it, 360 all the way around it, couldn't find a hole. Went to cut into it, put the cows, perfect. And went through the whole pile, and not a single one of them had any type of holes, anything. And not only that, I'd mentioned that it's sticky on both sides of the wrap. So our old one, you go put it out windy day to try to unravel itself, and then by the time it's sitting there stored, I mean, it looked terrible. And we'd have buyers come get it, and we'd be loading on the trailer having to cut off all the tails on it. So, it just didn't look good. It didn't really look professionally done. And, doing it for the public, you don't like looking at yourself. You especially don't want to sell something that looks like that. And with all the Agrirepel, it was stuck, being sticky on both sides. Like, you couldn't even find where the end was. You had to look hard just to even find it. So,
Cody, to run into a product that exceeds expectations, what did that feel like?
when you're talking about the money we were wasting all before, and just just trashing out, wondering, hey, have we messed up here getting in this market? Is there any type of resolution to fix this? And to come across it, just being at the farm show, coming with that problem, not even expecting to find the solution there, and you walk right past it, and you go, you stop, you get those contacts, and to see it all come and work out just absolutely perfect, it saved us. That's for
And
sure.
the home farm, Cody, where in Mississippi?
We're in North Mississippi in Corinth. It's the northeast corner.
And how about working with the folks at Protexia?
And as great as the product is, it doesn't compare to the customer services you get out of it, because when we was getting our OREP, there was no type of relationship with them. It's just, hey, we have problems. Well, maybe you got a bad batch or something. They just kind of shrug it off. When you had all these problems, and they didn't really have, when you go and pre-order your next round,
Right.
And from the time I ordered the stuff here, any questions I had, and they even when I got it in the field, got the day it arrived, they made sure, hey, did you get it? Does it all look great? How'd it do? And just keeping in touch. That goes way further than just a product itself.
And Ben, you and your father, again, developing this amazing product. To hear stories like that, that's got to put a smile on your face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first thing I'm gonna do when it's up is just forward the video to my dad so he can smile too,
Yes.
No, he's gonna love it. It means the world to hear stuff like that.
And how do you describe technically infusing the wrap? I'm not a numbers guy. How do you technically do it?
Sure. So the plastic, before it's being made as a film, comes under the form of small pellets that are melted together. And so the additive that we put is encapsulated into the same kind of pellets. So they are all melted together and extruded. It's called the extrusion process to make up that film. So it's not a coating. It's not something that's going to wash out in the rain or that can separate somehow from the film. It's really part of the product itself. Yeah.
And Elizabeth, you were saying this product originating in Europe, the standards of Europe, chemicals.
So,
The product is.
yeah, in Europe, you can't just say something does something. There has to be some proof, some testing, and we have the European Chemical Agency certification to show that it is effective in your field for 2 years. So I think we're the only company in the world that has this.
Oh, we had to go through extensive
Mhm.
testing and paperwork to be able to showcase that certification. It took us almost 2 years to get it, but now we do. And yeah, like you said, we're the only. This is the only product in the world that's certified by the.
The history on it. It goes back over
Yeah.
Europe with your father.
Yeah, so
how far back?
It's a funny story. It's really similar to what Cody was experiencing in Mississippi. So I grew up on
Just
the,
without the guns.
yeah yeah. There's not many of those in France. Yeah. So where I grew up in the northwest of France, we are surrounded by farms, and so we were talking to one of my neighbors one day. That's like not even 1 mile down the road, and he has a very small operation, beef operation, that doesn't have a lot of heads, but we noticed with my dad every year that he was buying way more bales than what he needed. And so we're like, did you buy? You have more cattle now, what's happening? And he told us every year that's what he has to do to have enough to feed, because he has to take into account the losses that he would incur because of rats and mice. Yeah. And so we're like, well, how come you don't have any solution? What does exist that you can do? And he told us there's nothing. I just have to buy extra more than what I need. You can't put any pesticide because it's going to get into the feed. It's going to hurt your cattle. You can't do any type of poison or anything like that.
Yep.
So there was not much he could do. And so my dad is a very solution-oriented person. So we started thinking, and that's how we came up with the idea. Started the production, testing, and now we got that certification from the European Chemical Agency. So that kind of accelerated the growth as well. Now we have some customers in France that have used this for 6-7 years in a row on their farm, and wherever they put their silage bales, if they put it every year at the same spot, because it doesn't kill them, it trains them to not come back. So they have pest-free locations.
Wow. Pavlovian response.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. And we have a young man with us here that's part of the Protexia team, Colton, right?
Yes.
And Colton, we talked at the farm show here last time, and you were kind of an early advocate, and actually you believed in it so much you joined the team.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of a similar situation. We had issues with mice and birds attacking our rabbit as well, and we met them at the National Farm Machinery Show as well, and started using the product, tried it. We liked it, noticed a huge difference instantly. And of course, being a different color than the standard white bale wrap that you see everywhere, everyone was noticing around us. So of course, the neighbors got to try it. Friends are trying it, so we just kept ordering more and more. And eventually, they asked if we wanted to be a dealer, and did that for a few years now. And now, I'm just part of the team and helping them now. So,
Well, going back to you were getting involved, Colton, and again, all the questions you must have been asked by neighbors and friends. Is it really do it? I mean, what was their reaction as you showed them?
yeah. So one thing that we started doing just to show people is we made the situation, if it was for standard wrap, worse. Because now it's not ideal, but we wanted to show people what it could really handle. So it's actually closer to the woods on dirt. It was where we stack all of our wrap bales, just to show people that this really does work. Because if something's going to attack it, it'd be in this spot. So we
So
just
not
kept doing that.
recommended. That
Yes,
was for the
not
test.
recommended. This was just a test, but just to show, and of course, seeing a different color, it really sparked attention around us.
This is it, by the way. This bale is wrapped with
Yes,
product.
this actually came from our farm.
On the farm. Wow.
Tried
We,
it.
we often say, because of our position in the market and our whole philosophy of bringing new, better, innovative products, mostly what we do is educating, not selling. Selling is just what comes after the fact of educating people.
Well, folks, I've seen a lot of products over my 33 years. Agrirepel by Protexia at the top of the list. This thing is making a difference on farms. Cody, Colton, check it out. And again, Ben, the website, Protexia-.
Blast.com.
There you go, folks.